right, what's popping, everybody? Get in here, everybody, get in here. It's time to get into some things. All right, so listen, I know for you guys that have been watching me for a while, I've been gone for like a week and some days. All right, so for you new people, this is probably nothing to you. You guys are just like, oh, who's this guy in this purple Barney shirt? Well, hello, welcome. My name is Armon Wiggins, and welcome to the Armon Wiggins Show, where we get into some things. So get in here, everybody, get in here and have a seat. All right, so for those people that that usually watch the show, we haven't gotten to any things in a minute. All right, so I got to catch you guys up for those people who haven't been caught up on the things of what's going on. So we're going to talk about Wendy Williams and Nick Cannon, because Wendy Williams has pushed her show back again. Okay, so she did not come back in September. She then said she was coming back October 4th. She did not come back October 4th. She's now pushed it back to October 18th. Okay, the network is ready to move forward with Nick Cannon as a replacement for her show. So we'll talk about that. We also want to talk about Omarion and Fizz coming together seemingly as a kumbaya moment. And lastly, an unfortunate situation has happened. I'm not sure if everyone knows, but the guy, CJ, that gave us the exclusive on Kerrion Franklin, Kirk Franklin's son, has been found dead. Okay, so we'll get into that a little bit later. All right, so the first thing I want to get into is Nick Cannon and Wendy Williams. All right, so as you guys know, Wendy Williams has been battling mental health, drugs, drinking, all allegedly, but not so allegedly. All right, she was supposed to come back September 22nd or September 20th for her premiere of season 13. There has been no announcement she has not returned back. She pushed it back to October 4th because she ended up getting the COVID. Okay, now she pushed it back again. And so the network is at a point where they're like, all right, well, we don't really know what's going on with Wendy Williams. We love Wendy. We want to support Wendy. We want her to get better. However, the show must go on because that is a prime time slot. All right. Now, Nick Cannon has a show that just premiered, 2 weeks ago, the Nick Cannon show. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really watch it. I watched the first 10, 15 minutes of the one episode, and I could already see that they're trying to gear Nick Cannon up to be a replacement for Wendy Williams. All right. It's the show is produced by the same company, Debmar Mercury, that produces the Wendy Williams show. It's on Fox. I think the Nick Cannon slot has replaced The Real. The Real comes on at a different time slot, but Nick Cannon has that time slot now. And so people are saying that, hey, Nick Cannon can be the new Wendy Williams. And if Wendy doesn't get it together, she can be replaced. Now, people have said that Wendy Williams' son has given her an ultimatum. Now, I've told you guys this before. I told you. I felt like Wendy Williams and her son's relationship was very estranged. Now, according to, different tabloids and things like that, they have said that the relationship between Wendy Williams and her son, Kevin Jr., is estranged and strained, right? And I told you guys I felt like it was strained because I think Wendy put so much into her work, so much into her career, that she did not put enough focus and attention into that child. And perhaps she didn't do the same for her marriage, which ends up leaving her in the situation that she's in now. But apparently he has given her an ultimatum saying if she doesn't get herself together, he's going to cut her off. She needs to fix herself. Apparently Wendy Williams has an extreme drinking problem and a pill problem. I don't think she's on the cocaine, but I do think that she is drinking heavily and she is popping Percocets or whatever, whatever there is to, cope with anxiety or stress or whatever she's got going on. So I think that that's interesting as well. So right after that, Wendy Williams, they were going to do a pre-recorded show. Tickets had been given out. Fans had came and lined up, and they were ready to film a pre-recorded show. They weren't going to go live yet. They were just going to pre-record it and release one. However, Wendy Williams was a no-call, no-show. Now, Wendy Williams really prides herself on not missing any days of work. So for her to call out of work and not show up after tickets have been given out, fans had waited over 2 hours for her. It was kind of not like her. And so people began to worry. The networks begin to worry. And so this is another reason why Nick Cannon has been brought in the conversation. Now, as far as Nick Cannon being a replacement for Wendy Williams, in my opinion, I don't think that that's going to work. I personally feel like Wendy Williams will not let that happen if it's in her control. She will be back in that seat October 18th. If this is a conversation, Wendy Williams will be back in that seat. I don't see her giving up that seat for Nick Cannon, for anybody. Wendy Williams will die in that seat. Okay, unless she's really trying to make better amends with her son. But for me, I don't think that Wendy Williams is giving that seat up for anybody. And if the show is, if that seat is almost on its way out and given to Nick Cannon, Wendy Williams will be back Monday, October 18th. Mark my words. I believe she will be back. Now, with that being said, let's just say that she doesn't come back, right? Let's say that she does not come back, and then they try to incorporate Nick Cannon. I personally don't think the Nick Cannon experience is what we need. First of all, I see that they have a segment on the show called What's Poppin'. That's the celebrity gossip sector or section of the show. I just don't see Nick Cannon being able to deliver the goods like the people need. You know, Nick Cannon is very likable. He's a great guy, and he has too many friends in the industry for him to really, truly give us the type of commentary that we're going to be looking for and want to come back and watch the show. Listen, Wendy Williams was the type of person who, while she's a celebrity because she was on radio and on television, she was not a celebrity for music and acting. She was a celebrity, became famous for her opinion and her gossip. And that's one thing that we liked, because Wendy Williams became a person who was, it was almost like, well, I'm not friends with the celebrities. I don't care about celebrities. So I'm not afraid to say things about celebrities. And at the same time, my show, I have a syndicated television show on primetime daytime TV. You know what I mean? And so in order for you to be considered hot, or in order for you to be considered somebody or on your way, you have to stop by this couch. So Wendy Williams has made her show a staple show for upcoming rising talent, and it just in a platform for people that need to promote things. And, you know, we still get the tea. So I feel like with Nick Cannon, he's too friendly with everyone. I don't think that it's going to be interesting enough. And I've seen that he may have had Simon Cowell on there, I think Jay Leno and some other people. So it's already being geared towards a mainstream white audience, number one, which is fine. I mean, Wendy Williams is a mainstream audience, but it still gives us that gossipy, the messy, the fun, the funk, the not so staged presence and entertainment that we need. Nick Cannon is going to be too buttoned up. He's not going to want to say the outlandish things. He's not going to want to say things that could be considered controversial. If anything, he'll dress it up in comedy. So we'll get a lot of, when Nick Cannon tries to throw his shade, it'll be dressed up as like stand-up comedy, which will kind of get boring because it's not going to be real. You know what I mean? So we really need somebody that's going to get up there and really say it like we mean it and tell the truth. So Nick Cannon, while I think he's a great guy, you know, I think Nick Cannon wears way too many hats. He's on The Masked Singer. He has the podcast. He has the radio show. He has the daytime show. He has Wildin' Out. You know, I can't hate on the man for having, you know, his hands in many pots, but the daytime talk show pot, especially how it's formatted, almost kind of like a Wendy Williams show. I just don't think that Nick Cannon has the chops for that. And I just don't think that Nick Cannon has, for that particular show, that particular format, if he is going to be entertaining enough to keep us watching for 13 seasons. I don't believe that this Nick Cannon show can get past the 6-week sneak peek. I just really don't think it's going to stick. I think you have to have somebody that's in that slot that is bold, fearless, new, and ready, and does not have a lot of celebrity relationships, but knows about the celebrity gossip. Like, they need to pull a me. They need somebody like me. They need somebody off the internet that in the commentary space that does not have a lot of celebrity contacts, but it can be entertaining for the people. See, we've gotten to a place now where in order to become successful in this business or in business in general, but I'm just going to speak about the entertainment business. We've gotten to a place now in order to be successful in the entertainment business, you've got to lick and kiss so much ass that nobody wants to offend anybody. Nobody wants to tell the truth. Nobody wants to say how they really feel because they feel afraid that I might burn this bridge, or I might need this person, or I might not want this person to be mad at me, or I need this affiliation with them so I can still have this contact. So you got a bunch of people faking it till they make it and afraid to say how they feel because they feel like they need to make sure that they have certain relationships. And on one hand, I get it. Relationships are key. But on the other hand, when you're doing a celebrity gossip show, when you're doing a commentary show, I don't want to watch a person with a whole bunch of celebrity relationships. The only relationships I feel like you need to have is great network relationships. When I mean network relationships, I'm talking about Viacom, Fox, Disney, television network, maybe iHeartRadio, Sirius XM, like networks, Hulu, Netflix. Like when you're in that space, you need those kind of deals. You need those kind of people. You need those kind of relationships. You don't want to burn those type of bridges. However, sometimes it might take somebody, that can actually get you in a room with those people. But, a lot of times your talent can speak for itself. So I feel as though they're going to need somebody a little bit more raw and uncut and unfiltered that they can kind of clean up for television to take that Wendy Williams spot. And that's just the guys on the strip. I do not feel like Nick Cannon has what it takes to be able to take that spot. I don't. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'll be very interested to see how this all pans out. Will Wendy be back? And, I think that when Wendy comes back, because I believe she's coming back, this will be one of her highest rated shows. And I do believe that she will address what's going on with her health. Now, she might chalk it all up to COVID and act like, oh my God, it was just the 19. It just did a number on her. But we all know that it's more to the situation. So it'll be interesting to see how transparent Wendy Williams will be in this situation. However, I'm going to go on record and say this. Nick Cannon is not the right fit to replace Wendy Williams. Maybe temporarily, but Nick Cannon, this is not like people like Nick Cannon, but people like the mess. So if Nick Cannon is not going to give the mess, then we're not going to watch. We can watch Nick Cannon on several other programmings. So what is going to make us, the people, watch Nick Cannon at 10 o'clock in the morning when we can watch Nick Cannon on The Masked Singer? We can watch this fun-loving guy on Wildin' Out. We can watch him on his podcast. I don't want to watch Nick Cannon talk to a bunch of, his white fans and make a bunch of corny jokes and he with the cheesy set. Like, no. If Nick Cannon's going to get up there and spill some tea, that's what I want to watch at 10 o'clock during the week. Okay, so that's why I like Wendy. If Nick Cannon can't do that, I'm telling y'all need to start reaching down, grooming some of these people that are up and coming in media, put them through a training, and present the new face. Like, it's a lot of these networks I feel like are relying on the fans, the built-in fan bases by some of these older celebrities, and not realizing that you can't just take celebrities from here to here to here and it's just automatically going to work. People like these certain people for a certain reason, but at the same time, they can fall in love with new people. Again, when you're trying to replace a gossip show with an actor, comedian, all over TV guy, family loving guy, Wendy Williams is controversial. Wendy Williams is known as not having any friends. Nick Cannon is known as having all the friends. I still don't see how that's going to work. And I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in it at all. I need somebody that's going to give it up raw and unfiltered. And I feel like the only way you're going to get that is if you bring somebody that's fresh in that does not have a bunch of industry friends. Period. Now, ain't this the fool? So, well, it's not really the fool, but you know what I'm saying? This is just a mess. So, on the stop of the B2K, well, the Millennium Tour. Now, mind you, the Millennium Tour is, I think, Bow Wow and Omarion and a slew of other like Soulja Boys and things like that. Now, it was supposed to be the B2K Millennium Tour until Fizz and Omarion had kind of got into it, and then he was, sleeping with April, this, and the third. Well, apparently it looks like that they have worked out their relationship, or at least Fizz has recently apologized to Omarion for, banging his baby mama and denying it. And probably seemingly saying that him and Omarion were not friends. So Fizz went on stage and basically said, you know what, it wouldn't be right if I didn't apologize to you for, any dysfunction that I've caused to you and your family. And Omarion, being the stand-up guy that he is, and the meditative, sickening, sexy speaker and performer that he is, he actually accepted the apology and they kept it moving. First of all, I wouldn't even had Fizz on stage with me. So the fact that Fizz was even able to perform with Omarion, it's like Omarion is at a different type of peace. Okay, like if I was April, I would just feel like a dirty scumbag, because it's like, first of all, ain't no nigga that she's been with since, or on the level of Omarion, mentally, peacefully, body, look-wise. Fizz looks like a smoked out Northaniel. I've been saying that for months, years at this point. April, and now they're friends, and you're out the picture. You just look like a runner and a track star, okay? Runner, ripper, and a track star, and we're over you. Fizz, you could have actually... I'm glad that you actually gave the apology publicly, but hopefully you did it privately and publicly. See, privately would be good because it's like you actually really mean it. You're doing it privately. You want us to make amends. And so I feel like there was a private apology, because I feel like I couldn't imagine him getting on that stage without there being some sort of conversation. And so I think privately it did happen, but it was great that it also happened publicly, because publicly it's how that the embarrassment was. You dated her publicly, you were on TV publicly, you denounced Omarion being your friend publicly. So I definitely think that was the right thing to do publicly. And also, ain't nobody been talking about Fizz for the last 2, 3, 4 years at this point. In my mind, we don't give a damn. And so, Omarion is still, whether, we're not really talking about Omarion either. Let's just keep it a vein. But, we have a lot more respect for Omarion than we do a Fizz. So now Fizz is getting back in the good graces of the people, which I think is great. Things happen. If I was Omarion, I'd never trust him again. Our relationship will never be the same. Yeah, you can come on this tour. We're not friends. We can get some money together. But, I don't really roll with you, and I'll never have my girl around you, because if you try it again, I'll beat you the up. Okay? You know what I mean? Just simply like that. But I'm glad that these two grown adults were able to put the vagina to the side and become cool again and squash their beef and their differences. And I'm hoping that after this, they had a healthy conversation on why this was ridiculous, why this shouldn't happen again, and the embarrassment that it has caused both of them. And, I don't know. And it was also good to see that Raz B was there. And I think that's what's interesting too, that this J Boog was not there. I don't know why he wasn't there. I haven't dug that much into B2K, because when you get into B2K, it's almost like this rabbit hole that never ends. You know what I'm saying? And so B2K, it's one of those groups that I loved growing up. I had all the posters all over my wall. I had all the Word Up magazines. Okay, I had all of that. I had even a little Janae Aiko shrine. You know what I mean? I had a little IMX shrine. It was a whole thing. Me and my cousins would fight over, who would have who up. We couldn't even have certain people up. Like, she was J Boog, and so she could only have J Boog posters up at her house. So if I had J Boog posters up, I'd have to cut somebody's head off and cover it over J Boog, because that was her man. And if I went to her house and she had any immature or Marcus Houston pictures up, she'd have to cover it. And then Fizz was kind of like for everybody, and Omarion was for everybody, and nobody liked Raz B. Okay, you know what I mean? So it was just whatever. It was just a whole thing. I remember I would come home and I would run home and stick my tape in the little VHS thing. The TVs that had the VHS attached to it. So yeah, I would go and dub, probably over my dad's flicks. You know what I mean? Dub making the bands and 106 in Park and new videos of, you know, Marcus Houston and B2K and, you know, so I can rewatch them every day at 3 o'clock. You know what I mean? It was a whole thing. Like, it was a thing. 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 That was one of the first tours or concerts I went on the Millennium Tour. It was amazing. I had all the albums from the Christmas album one down. Like, it was a thing. So I really like this group. I grew up with this group. I never really thought Omarion could sing. I always thought he was like a bit of annoying narcissist at some point. But now that I'm actually getting into him now, I really have a lot of respect for Omarion. And I'm glad that those two men were able to have that conversation. And, you know, I would like to see where they go from here. Now, do I want more B2K music? Absolutely not. I'm not even sure if I'm here for Omarion music. However, I am here for them to go on tours and be one as a group and, you know, leave the drama behind them, okay? Now, this is heavy. So this is an unfortunate situation. I'm not sure if everybody knew because I didn't even know about this. So this guy name is CJ. If you don't remember CJ was the guy who was living with Kerrion Franklin, Kirk Franklin's son, and he sent me over the exclusive audio of Kerrion Franklin saying that Kirk Franklin was his master. You know what I mean? You know, he did the touching on him. Now, so we broke that story early or in March. You know, I'll put the link in the video if you guys want to go watch that. And then we actually interviewed CJ on the show after that. And I hadn't talked to him. Then he went on to do a bunch of different interviews. I'm not going to lie. I actually blocked him. Because I felt like he was starting to become very messy, and then he was trying to throw me under the bus on different channels. It was really weird. It was a weird time. However, he helped shine some light on a situation with Kerrion Franklin and essentially exposed Kerrion and Kirk and for, you know, their tumultuous relationship. And he had a recording that he sent to me and I played, and, you know, it went viral in regards to some of the allegations that Kerrion Franklin has made about his father, Kirk Franklin. Now, I regret to inform you that I recently found out and can confirm that CJ since then has passed away. He was, from my understanding, he was found dead. I don't know exactly where and how, but he died in August. So maybe about a month ago. Now, according to a source, he was in the hospital for about 5 days. The source said that they went to go meet up with him, and he was doing fine. They said that he may have allegedly, he told him that the doctor said that he allegedly had pancreatic cancer. So he was, you know, in the hospital. Then he was released and he was kind of living his life. And then 2 weeks after that, they found him, I guess, dead. You know, he was just gone. And it's not really clear on how or who or what actually happened. But the source also told me that CJ lived a very colorful life with, you know, drugs, alcohol, pills. They said that he would take a lot of Percocets, a lot of uppers. He wouldn't sleep. He'd be up all night. And, you know, exclusively, I can tell you that he did let me know that he would do, you know, cocaine and, you know, different substances like that. And oftentimes he told me that he would also get high with Kerrion Franklin. So honestly, I don't know what's going on. I don't know all the details on that. As more details come, I will let you guys know. But I do want to send my condolences out to CJ's family and friends, and for this unfortunate situation. And it's just so crazy because CJ was only 22 years old, and he clearly had some traumas of his own, and it's unfortunate that he has lost his life so early. So I want you guys to keep his friends and family in your prayers. Okay. Ooh, okay. Now, with that all being said, listen, I'm glad to be back. We got into some things. I want you guys to like the video, share the video, Okay, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think on all these different topics. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Peace out.